Since you're a candidate, have there been individuals that have been contacting you and asking you how you feel about a particular position? When you're a state representative, to fill out all these questionnaires from all these different organizations statewide that want to know where you stand on their particular issues. What are some of the more interesting ones that come to light that you'd like to talk about?
I have answered probably over 20, 25 questionnaires from different groups. Some I didn't even know existed. I've answered groups from labor organizations like the SEIU, AFSCME and AFL-CIO. I've answered.
Do you have labor endorsements?
I've received a number of them.
Good.
I'm really proud of that. They received my answers. Some of them called us in for interviews and sat down with me, and I was lucky enough to get their endorsements based on my positions. SEIU being one, Local 150, the operating engineers who build a lot of these roads that we're talking about, Local 399 operating engineers, they've all endorsed my campaign. But I've been endorsed by the Illinois Federation of Teachers, another group that I filled out a questionnaire for, went in and talked with them and shared my views. I would hope that after 10 years on the school board that I would connect with them on education issues, and I did. I'm looking forward to sitting down with the Illinois Education Association, the big teachers union. I just finished their questionnaire today, as a matter of fact.
Takes a long time, doesn't it?
It does. You need to do research. They make you think. They make you think about the issues. They make you, give some specifics on what your plans are. And if you're a serious candidate, you should be able to do that.
Yeah.
I found it to be an enjoyable process.
Did you get a questionnaire from ABATE?
I did get one.
People want to wear helmets. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I did get one from ABATE. I answered ABATE's, and looking forward to hearing from them.
What are some of the other issues that you see coming up this spring session that you may not be able to vote on, but you'll be taking a look at again next year?
Well, I was at a meeting earlier today. I started this day quite early, and my wife will be happy when I get home. By the way,
we know how early you started here.
She's actually expecting our first child. We're actually expecting our first child 4 days after the election.
Oh, my gosh.
And so she hasn't seen me all day. So
and her mood hasn't changed whatsoever, has it?
She's been out on the campaign trail with me, I'll tell you. But I started today at a breakfast with a lot of the mayors in the 7th District and Senator Lightfoot. And they were just sharing ideas with her. One of the things that really needs to be addressed is water rates.
Yeah.
The city of Chicago has really raised the rates and passed that on to the suburban areas, and I think that's a serious issue that we need to address.
Yeah.
And I just told you about the property tax form that I left here earlier today, and now folks are going to have to get a high water bill. Where are they getting this money from?
Yeah.
It's working families are getting hit every which way you can think of.
They're not only paying for the government they're getting now, they're paying for the government that they got in the past that they didn't pay for, or that the previous generation didn't pay for.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
we got some serious issues to address, and if they don't fix that water problem before I get there, that's
well. There's some news. The West Central Municipal Conference had their legislative breakfast where the state legislators come in and the county commissioners. Dick Durbin was there.
Yes.
And we're going to take two actions. One is potential litigation with the city of Chicago. The other is lobby the legislature, such as yourself, to come up with a piece of legislation somewhat like Indiana, where they allow you to charge more for the water, but only if it meets operational and maintenance costs.
Well, you're a mayor, Barrett.
Yep.
You can tell your friends at West Central that you would have my support for the legislation.
Good.
Because, history is just repeating itself with the city of Chicago. I remember they did this 20, 30 years ago and ended up having to go to litigation on it. They lost then, and I think they would lose now. And so we might as well just address this thing legislatively so it doesn't happen again.
Right. And I don't think the suburbs are saying that they're not willing to pay a reasonable amount for operation and maintenance for the water to be taken from the crib in Lake Michigan and delivered out here to the suburbs.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's obvious that we don't want to pay for the replacement of their water mains and sewers in their side streets or their streets, etc.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The city should pay for theirs. The suburbs should pay for ours.
Right.
That's just fair. And I think that's all you guys are asking for, is to be fair.
And some of the issues that came up last year was whether we should take out loans to pay off the debt that we have, the short-term debt. You need a 3/5 majority in each house, and it doesn't look like the R's are willing to go along with that. Is there some compromise that can be made with them to get it?
I certainly hope so. Issuing debt's not a bad thing. It's no different than a person refinancing their home. When interest rates are good, you may want to take advantage of the interest rates and refinance your mortgage. And when you do that, your mortgage payment will go down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why the Republicans are fighting that effort. You can use some of the equity in your home, take that money and pay off some of your obligations
At a lower interest rate.
at a lower interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So some things.
You still need 3/5 in each house.
I think what we have to do is sit down and talk with our friends, Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, and try to collaborate.
I would imagine that you're knocking on doors. What's besides taxes? What are some of the biggest issues that people raise at the door?
Well, really, the thing I'm hearing over and over again is property tax relief, jobs, and they're talking about schools and crime. Folks in the 7th District are real concerned about crime.
Crime isn't going down like it is other places?
Not as low as it should be.
Okay.
No one's going to be satisfied until...
And what kind of crime are they talking about? Breaking and entering?
Crimes with firearms.
Crimes with firearms.
The 7th District is made up of Maywood and Bellwood,
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately we do have too many violent crimes committed with firearms, and we need to address that. I think we need to create a state witness protection program that would allow people who have information to come forward. Right now, people are too scared to come forward.
And how would this state witness protection work?
Well, it would be very similar to a federal witness protection program. We just don't have one on the state level. So if we can assure folks that their safety will be taken care of,
Mm-hmm.
come forward. Let us know about people who are committing crimes with firearms. That's something we don't have right now. I think if we had it, it'll help decrease crime. I think another thing that would be very helpful in our area is a mandatory sharing of information between schools and police departments.
Right. Well, we have our own mandatory rules that we have to live by here on Illinois Issues in Review, and they call them to order at 28 minutes and 55 seconds. Oh. Emanuel Chris Welch, candidate for state representative, thank you so much for being with us. And thank you for another edition of Illinois Issues in Review. I'm your host, Barrett Peterson. We'll see you next time, same channel.